What's up, guys, and welcome back to Athena's Garage. In today's video, we're going to be upgrading the wheels on the Tundra. Let's get right to it. They are the BBS wheels from a 2011, I think, to 2012 XSP Texas Edition Tundra. They are the BBS 20-inch by 9 wheels. I got these things for a great price. Now, they're a little bit scuffed up. The paint is peeling. I mean, these center caps are trash. I can get rid of them. I'm not too worried about them. Replace them. They do have some curb rash on them. This one, I actually spent a little time last night sanding down the curb rash, and it turned out pretty good. But what I'm actually going to do, I thought about sanding them and then painting them, which I'm most definitely going to be painting them. But I thought about sanding them myself, but I just called a company right down the road and asked how much sandblasting would be, and they said it would be roughly around $70 for all 4 of these wheels. So let's hope it's actually that price once I get there, and I think I'm definitely going to do that. It's going to save me a lot of time. So I'm actually going to be going there right now to drop these off, and it's probably going to be a big time frame between when I get these, or right now when I have these, until when I get them back from the sandblasting guy, because he's pretty far behind. But I'm in no rush to get these. I don't have tires for them or anything yet. They are 20s. The stock offset for these Tundras are plus 60, and these are a plus 50, so they're going to stick out a little bit wider, and I will be upgrading to a more rugged and bigger tire once we get there. Now, it's going to be a long process because I will be painting these things. I want to paint them black. I want to get them nice and great looking. Want to get this curb rash down. $150 I paid for these. Not sure if I said that already. $150 for 4 of these wheels. I think they look great. I think they'll look even better once they are painted. I'm going to go with satin black, but that's this part. Hopefully, the next part you see, that I'm going to come back and they will be sandblasted. The wheels are back from the powder coater, but basically a sandblaster, sorry. They are back from the sandblaster. I did do a little off-camera sanding. There was some small rough spots, kind of like right here where you can see they didn't get a complete even finish here, but I sanded this down with some 180 and kind of just sanded the surface off. Got most of this road rash off. The sandblaster did a really good job getting everything done. I just wanted the inside drum and the face done. I didn't want the inside here done because I wasn't planning on painting that because it's going to be inside the tire, so won't ever really see any elements. Just wanted to give you an update. All 4 are sandblasted and hand sanded. Done. They're clean. They just need to be painted. So it is late at night. I've been working on this thing pretty much all day. This is my makeshift spray booth. So I'm going to show you guys this thing in a second. I have my wheels in here. I got my primer in, and all I need to do is start spraying. But it's kind of late, and I'll have to put the air compressor kind of outside of the garage and open the garage. I'm not sure how my neighbors will appreciate that, but this is where we're at. I'm going to show you guys, give you a little tour of what I've done. First thing first here, I have a squirrel cage fan blowing in to make positive pressure. And I put some filter around the fan just to kind of keep some dust and debris down. Now, it's not obviously the best filters, but it's going to work for my use because I don't really have, there's not going to be a lot of dust and movement in here as long as it's not super windy outside, which right now it's not, so it'd be a great time to spray, but it is also cooler. I have a canopy kind of awning thing that my neighbor let me use, and I set it up without the tarp, put some plastic on the top, taped everything as best I could, and I don't know, guys. This is kind of maybe a little overkill. I don't know. Maybe it's not, but we're gonna get these things freaking sprayed and get them done right, hopefully. So I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna turn the fan on. So this thing will start puffing out, as you can see. The door is not completely sealed right now, so it's not going to be 100% puffed out. Like it'll slowly get more, and it kind of self-seals a little bit. I have it, the door kind of like the tape there, plus the tape here. There's a little slit right there where I slide in. But I'm going to go inside here and show you guys what it looks like. You can see it's kind of bowing out everywhere. See this, it's starting to seal up now. I have a filter on this side. There is quite a bit of air coming through, but I'm also losing air all over the place because I didn't seal it up 100%. But let's go in here and show you what I'm talking about. Okay, we are inside the booth now. So I hung up a light up here so I have light. This thing barely fits in my garage. Here's the squirrel fan blowing air in. I've thought about putting something here to kind of diffuse the air to the left and right so it's not blowing directly on this, but it blows a ton of air in here. My biggest thing is dust should not be coming in. So I shouldn't have any dust on these things. Now, I need to clean them off, wipe them down, and then we should be ready to primer them. And I think what I'm going to do actually is flip them over and prime the inside. That way I kind of have some practice, and if I mess up, it's on the inside and not, going to be really that visible. So I have some high build primer that I got from Rust-Oleum, and I'll show you guys here in a little bit. I got everything I should need. There's my filler primer, the Rust-Oleum filler primer. Hopefully it's enough. I got a whole face shield and mask. Got the can, gonna blow off the inside. This is kind of just a test. I might just do one and see how it goes. May not fill it up very much because I don't have the spray adjusted. I need to adjust it, see how it sprays. And then really that's it. And turn the fan on and basically start. So I'm gonna start and I'll bring you guys back once I do one of them. I am not happy whatsoever with this filler primer. I shook the shit out of this can, and it just kept going. So it's so thin. It went through so fast. I went through one whole quart. I did 2 coats on the inside drum, and I did 1 coat on all 4 wheels, and then I did 1 coat on these 2, and that's all of that 1 whole quart can did, which is very unfortunate. And when I got to the bottom of the can, there was so much buildup of the actual primer on the bottom of the can. Even though I shook the shit out of it. I shook it 2 or 3 times throughout today. And then right beforehand, I shook it for at least 2 minutes straight, which I know it's not a paint shake or anything. And I should have stirred it. I don't know what I was thinking. I just didn't stir it. But even if I did stir it, I wouldn't have known there was that much stuff on the bottom. And then now these things are primed. I mean, you can easily see all this stuff that the sandblaster missed that I thought I sanded down. And I'm going to have to re-sand all this stuff. We're just going to let these things sit in here. And I'll think about it overnight and then come back and, I don't know, figure something out. I did sand these last night for a little bit. I'm going to continue to wet sand them. I sanded them with dry 600. But there's some spots I really want to get down smooth, so I'm going to use some wet sanding 320 and try to get them a little bit smoother. Everything feels smooth, and then once I've sanded them down, what I'm going to do is spray the first coat on these 2 tops, and then obviously the second coat on these, and really going to mix that paint up. I've been shaking it all morning. It's been sitting in the sun. I've been shaking it 2-3 minutes at a time, probably 5-6 times now, and then I'm going to really stir it once I open it. But I'm going to do some wet standing, and I'll probably bring you guys back a little bit later on, maybe if I get it after a couple of these sprays done. Not sure if I'll be able to get these sprayed today, doing this while my kid's napping, so we'll see how it goes. I have now sanded these 2 wheels to 600. Now, whether that was supposed to have been done or not, I don't know. But I sanded them down to 600 after the primer, 2 coats of primer. These have to be sanded still. They need to be sanded about 320 is what I'm going to do. Another coat of primer, and then sand them again at 600 to kind of match these. Most of the imperfections are gone. There are still some that you can see I mean, it's not going to be perfect. I'm not expecting it to be perfect. I need to get some like tack cloth and prep all or wipe all, whatever it is, to get the wax and grease off of them. And I'm going to get paint and possibly paint tomorrow if I can get these sanded and primed today. It's not really a matter of if, it's just a matter of if I want to or not. Anyway, however you say that, because it is like 20 degrees out right now. It's freaking cold. It was this morning. I think it's probably 40 right now, not 20. I don't know why I said that. But it's getting a little bit warmer, so I'm just kind of waiting until it warms up some to wet sand these and then wash them, and then we'll move on to letting them dry, and then maybe later on tonight I'll prime these two for another coat, and then maybe hit a couple spots on these that are bare metal again, and then sand and all. I already said all that. So that's just an update of where we're at. When I paint, I believe I'll bring you guys for that, or maybe do like a time lapse, set this camera up in the corner and show you what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. Here's the next update. Each wheel has 2 coats. These two kind of have 2-ish. I mean, it's a little bit more. Everything is sanded down to 600 grit. Not sure if I was supposed to do that or not, but it is. There will be some painting tomorrow. It should be like mid-60s, about noon. So they're all washed and cleaned. And then whenever I go to spray tomorrow, I'm going to wipe the drums inside with an alcohol mixture, probably just alcohol and water with a rag, and let them evaporate, try to wipe off all the oil. And then I'm going to mix my paint up and start spraying. Now I'm just going to spray the inside drums probably tomorrow and wait several days for the paint to kind of cure and not mar up, and then flip them over and do the other side. I'm hoping to get 3 coats on each of these. We will see how much paint we use. I just have a quart, which the paint's pretty cheap, so I can just go get another quart if I run out. So unfortunately, my microphone stopped working, so I'm re-recording this post making this. I'm editing right now. Anyway, basically this whole clip was just me telling you the ratio that I'm using. I'm using the Rust-Oleum Satin Black there. I'm going to use 5 parts of it, 2 parts acetone, and 0.33 parts of that catalyst hardener that I got at Tractor Supply. I end up later on using a different ratio that I think works a little better. It's basically 5 to 2 to 1 part catalyst hardener. It worked better in my scenario only because it was colder out during the time of me painting, and I wanted the product to cure a little bit faster because it was so cold. So that's the ratio I used. After you mix in the hardener, you need to let it set for about 15 to 20 minutes to kind of start activating, and then you can spray. So that's all I did. I ended up using all of that can of paint and another. So I used 2 quarts, or basically like 1.5. I think I still have half a quart left, but that's the ratio I used for most of it. Is, like I said, again, 5 parts paint, 2 parts acetone, 1 part catalyst hardener. So that's probably going to be it. On to the next part. So far, the only issue I'm having is I can't see because the reflection of the sun over here. It's really hard to tell what I've got and what I've not got, unfortunately. So I've done a second coat on everything. I'm about out of paint. I could probably do this wheel, so I'm going to go ahead and wait, do this wheel, and then mix up another batch, half batch, so 5 to 2 to 0.33. To do the last 3 wheels. That should be plenty to do at least 3 coats on these things, and then I'm going to let them sit, and I'll let this kind of fumigate for a little bit, and then I'll bring you guys back once it's kind of aired out some. That way I'm not breathing this shit in. It's been about 30 minutes since I sprayed the final 3rd coat here. I think it turned out pretty good. Now, these wheels were not sanded, and I didn't really prepare this surface extremely well for this paint. Just meaning like I didn't prep it to look good. I just wanted some paint on here. I could care less how it looked. I mean, you could see some scratches and some marring and stuff and some places that should have been sanded, but no one's ever going to see the inside of these drums, so I'm not really super worried about them. It's a little soft still, a little bit tacky. I could probably, spray another coat on here now if I wanted, but I think 3 is going to be plenty. I don't think I'll need to spray another one. I did it real heavy on the 3rd coat, so I think this is going to be all right for now. There's a few spots. It was really, really hard to see in certain angles. Unfortunately, from this side, I could see pretty well, but the way the sun was reflecting, it was really hard for me to see over here because you can kind of see it coming at me. It's a little bit better now that the sun has settled some, but I mean, you could see some, like bubbling and stuff there, which this is all has to do with the sanding, and I didn't sand a ton, which, like I said, I don't care how it looks on this side as long as it stays good. I wish I had clear, because now would be the time to spray the clear. I should have got some and had it prepped, but I didn't know how this was going to go and if I'd have to sand it off or who knows. But I'll probably let these set for, I don't know, at least a day. I'll probably flip them over, check them tomorrow, come out here, check them again in a little bit. Who knows? But right now, they're looking okay. I mean, I used especially the drum for practice. I got a lot of paint around here. It's so hard to tell with this sun what I haven't gotten. It looks almost like a little thin over here, but you can't really, I don't know, you can't really tell. Just a little bit tacky. Not coming off of my finger at all. No paint, but it is just a little bit tacky. Anyway, I'll bring you guys back next time I check them or anything like that. I should have probably covered these because they say only mount from this side, which, oh well, I guess. But I'll bring you guys back after a little bit. It is the next day. I have flipped these things over. They're still a little bit soft. I mean, not enough that I don't think they're going to get marred up being flipped over like this. It's a little windy today too, as you can see. But I don't think they're going to get marred up because it's such a large surface area that the end is on. I mean, I had to push really, really hard with my fingernail to leave a mark. But I think today when I spray, I may add a little bit more hardener. Maybe do like 10 parts to 4 parts to actually 1 part instead of 0.66. And that way it's a little bit harder because it is cooler out and it will not be any warmer after today. Today's the warmest day for like 2 or 3 weeks. It may be the rest, who knows, but the rest of the month or 2 months because it is winter time right now. But it's supposed to hit 70 today. My plan is to clean these. There is overspray from the other side, which was expected. So my plan, I'm gonna let it warm up, maybe wait another 2-3 hours, get this thing going. I'm gonna get some cleaner in here, some alcohol, wipe all these things down, make sure there's no dust, turn on the fan, get some flow going through here, and then mix up my paint. Now, it's going to probably be, like I said, the same mix, so I don't know if I'm going to show you guys all that. The next clip will just be me spraying in my suit and my ventilator thing. So, we'll see from now. Obviously, this is sanded a lot more than the back side, so hopefully the paint turns out a little smoother. I think what I did on the underside is I sprayed too quickly, and what I'm going to do this time is wait a full 15 minutes and make sure it's tacky, and if it's not tacky, then wait another like 10 minutes. I'm going to do a really, really light coat on all of them first, and then do a heavier medium coat, and then do a final wet coat after I've waited the times. And if I have to, a week from now, I'll wet sand them with like 1500 to try to smooth them out if they, didn't turn out great. And then at that point, I should be able to spray clear if I want. But unfortunately, they'll have to sit in here for like a week to cure, which I don't really want to take all this stuff apart before I'm done spraying. So anyway, that's it. I'll bring you guys back when I start spraying these things in a couple hours. Got the paint mixed up. Just waiting about 20 minutes. Then I'm gonna start. Already clean the rims. I just need to get everything kind of set up and ready to go. Update. My hair looks crazy because that mask. I got some paint in it too, unfortunately. I definitely recommend the 5 parts paint, 2 parts acetone, and 1 part hardener. It's curing a lot faster, which is kind of what I like. I mean, you don't have to wait as long. Unfortunately, it is extremely windy today, and even though I have this tent, it is not perfect by any means, and I am getting some like stuff in here. It's probably sucking through the filter that I got. But I did 3 coats on 2 wheels, and I did a really wet coat. I forgot to start the camera, so you guys didn't see that part. And I ended up running out of paint, mixed up paint on the 3rd wheel. So it's technically not even a full coat on there, which sucks. But then I just mixed up some more, and I gotta wait like 10 more minutes or so. And then we'll spray the 4th wheel, and then hopefully by then I can finish the 3rd wheel, and then by the time I'm done with that, I can do a 4th coat on the first 2 wheels. I mean, who knows? We'll see. I wanted to do 4 coats, but I'm completely out of actual paint now, so I can't do unless I go get more, and I'm not going to be going today, even though I probably should get some, but I'm not going to. So that's where we're at right now. I'll bring you guys in whenever I maybe do the next coat. I probably won't because it's kind of a pain once I get everything set up to access my phone. But I'll bring you guys when part of it's drying. And I'm going to try to wait 35 minutes for the 3rd wet coat on these first 2 because I want it to cure really good. It was pretty tacky after 15-20 minutes with the 1 part hardener. So I definitely recommend that if you're trying to get it done quickly. Now, if you have plenty of time, go for it. But I want to get this stuff done before it's, there's storms coming and it's going to be cold the next 2-3 weeks. And I want to get this done on this nicest day we have. Anyway, I'm blabbering on. I'll bring you guys back. Update, it's so windy that it's causing the filter to kind of collapse. Everything is moving, and I got trash inside of this thing, so hopefully I'm not going in there yet to see, but my filter over here collapsed and was rubbing against this fan. Hopefully it didn't shred nothing inside there and get it everywhere. Kind of nervous to go in there and look. I got 4 coats on 2 of the wheels, 3 coats on 2 of the wheels. I have probably half of this cup left, so I'm going to do 2 more coats on those other 2 wheels. I have to wait about 30 minutes, so I can't do it yet, unfortunately. And this freaking wind is crazy, so that's going to be it for here. I'll update you next when I get these 2 wheels done, and maybe they dry and I can show you. There's a lot of trash in the paint, which I figured would happen. Windy day like today, it's insane right now, so it's just unfortunate. But we'll figure it out when we move down the road. I know part of me is thinking, you're never going to see these wheels up close, so no one's ever going to look at these things and be like, oh man, there's trash in this paint. So I think it's going to be okay. We'll see once they're on the truck. I think they'll look fine on the truck going down the road when you look at it from a parking lot or whatever. But me knowing that there's trash in is what's kind of, messing with my head a little bit. Plus, I still have to clear coat. I'm going to have to wait to let these things sit for at least a week. And a week from now, it's supposed to be high of 20 degrees. So I won't be able to spray in that. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Just leave them like this. I don't know if I should clear coat them or not. I know they need some UV protectant, and I'm pretty sure this hardener will give you some UV protection. I'm not sure if it actually does or not. But that's it. I'll bring you guys back after a little bit. It's been a week, guys. So I've made a few decisions. I recorded a video I want to say the next day after I painted or the day after, but unfortunately one of my mics went down and I didn't realize, and obviously there's no audio for it. So it's been, I think, 6 days since I sprayed. It is now Friday. I think I sprayed on Saturday. Anyway, there are a few spots I missed on these. There are a few imperfections, and being the perfectionist kind of person that I am and knowing that they're here, I can't leave them on there. So my brother-in-law had a really good idea. I was going to use some 1500 grit sandpaper, but what I'm using is this red Scotch-Brite, and I'm just taking the top layer off and scuffing it up because I'm going to be doing some more heavier coats on this paint. Now, there's a few areas like in between here I'm going to have to really focus on, and I also flattened the wheels back. I had them angled, but because I'm so short and these sawhorses are a little tall for me, I couldn't reach very well on this side, so I flattened the wheels out, and I'm just using this red Scotch-Brite. It's super easy to get inside these things, and it leaves a really nice finish, like a smooth finish on here. I'm just kind of scuffing it up, getting some of the imperfections out, some of the runs. This stuff is working great for the runs. So I'm just going to do that on each wheel. I'm going to do the drum because I'm going to respray the drum a little heavier, the inside. So I'm going to flip them over, do the same thing, and then I don't have paint right now, so I'm probably going to have to run to town. It's supposed to be, I think, the warmest today and tomorrow. I think the high of like 50, so hopefully it works out okay. We'll see. I may have to put like a heater in here and heat this area up or heat the wheels up to see maybe they'll work better. You know, I'm not sure, but we'll worry about that when I get to it. I got to do a lot of this scuffing with this red pad, so they look good. There's quite a bit of shine to them, which is a little bit more than satin, but that's because of the catalyst hardener. So I'm pretty happy with how they are, and I probably could just leave them, but knowing these few spots I missed, I just can't, because I am not going to be clear coating them now. I just decided it's not worth it for me. I talked to a couple people, and they said not to worry about it. These are cheaper wheels, and hopefully, as long as I'm not curb rashing and running through a bunch of stuff, which I won't be, like going off-roading a bunch or anything. So I shouldn't have too big of an issue with these things. But for the most part, these are where we're at. This is where we're at right now. I got to do a lot of scuffing. I just did the top of this one, and it took me like 20 minutes. So 20, 40, 60, 80, and then flip them over, and probably another 20 minutes on each side. Maybe a little faster, so maybe 2 hours, 3 hours, and I'll be done scuffing them. But that's my goal for today. I know I'm not doing great keeping up with these videos, but I am doing the next coat on the top of the wheels. I cleaned them and unfortunately used a rag that got lint, so I've just spent the last hour blowing them off and getting all the lint off of the little tiny areas that are rough and it's stuck. So right now I am going to mix up some paint and prep to spray the first tack coat. Wait 15-20 minutes. It's like 45 degrees, but inside the tent it's about 65. I had a heater in there, and with the sun coming in, it raised the temperature up pretty good. I got the blower going, and so I'll probably just bring you guys back whenever I'm done with everything, because it's just too much work, and I don't want this video being like 2 hours long, because it's probably already going to be really long. So here, that's where we're at. Gonna mix the paint up and start spraying the fourth, fifth coat, whatever it is, on the top of the face of the wheels. So I'm gonna try to do a real nice heavy coat and get these things looking nice. Well, here is the final product. I have to say I am not happy. Unfortunately, with being the weird like headspace that I always have, I wanted to redo the first couple coats I did, and I think I should have left it, which is almost always what happens when I do things. I should just leave them how they are, but unfortunately I didn't, and I rough sanded everything. Now in the video they're gonna look okay, but there are runs. You could see one right there. There's a lot of trash in these things. Unfortunately, I used a rag that was not lint free and got lint all over it, then spent a long time trying to get lint out, and there's just marks and mars, and they're extremely dusty right now. I mean, it's impossible to not have dust on them where I live. I live on a dirt road, so it's going to be really hard not to have dust on them. But this is probably going to be the last part of this video. I don't know where I'm going with this, because I don't know if I want to sell these, if I want to keep them and put wheels on them and then actually put them on the truck. But I'm just not happy with these. Now, they're going to look probably fine, but you see there's like, this is part of where the sandblasting was done, and there's just a lot of like pitting, what it looks like, but it's the sandblasting didn't get everything, and there wasn't a smooth finish, and I didn't do a great job sanding. If I was going to do this again, I would highly recommend powder coating, but I just didn't want to spend that kind of money. And I'll show you guys right here what I have in it. I can't remember off the top of my head right now. It's somewhere above $400. So it's not terrible for a set of wheels. And, you know, I'm not expecting perfectness with these things because this is my first time doing it. Look at this run right there. Can you see it on the camera? I can't see it because of the sun. There's a massive run right there. But this is probably where I'm going to leave this video. There's, I think, 5 coats on each side. Yeah, there should be 5 coats on each side. Man, that run is crazy big. You couldn't see a lot of it without being in the sunlight because there just wasn't enough light in here. Look at that one, big one right there. The more I look at them, the more I dislike them, unfortunately. But, I mean, if I put them on the truck, they'll probably look fine. But this is where we're at right now. The satin finish, I really enjoy. I mean, I think it looks great. I definitely think if I do get wheels, I want satin because the gloss is going to be too much, but this satin finish looks really good. I think it would look really good on that truck. Look how dusty that thing is. But this is where we're at. It's probably, like I said, I'm going to end the video. Hopefully you guys stuck around for this. I'm not sure how this video is going to turn out. This is over like 3, 4, 5 week process of me getting these, sandblasting, priming, painting, getting upset, sanding, painting, all that stuff. So that's where we're at right now. It's actually mid-December. I'm not sure when I'll be posting this video, but this is where we're at. Alright guys, so that's going to be the end of this video. These are technically the wheels I'm going to be upgrading the truck with. I'm still not sure if I'm going to be putting these on the truck or not. We will see in a future video because I don't currently even have wheels for these, or tires for these things. So for now, this is where we're at. Thank you guys for watching, sticking along. If you've made it this far, please consider subscribing if you want to see more content like this, or if you want to see if I decide whether to put these on the truck and add some tires to them. I really want to put some 35s on the truck. I think it'll really look great on the thing, the way the truck is. Hopefully these will fit 35s, I'm not sure. You know, that's a future video. Future me can decide that and figure it out. So, if you guys want to see more stuff like this, like I said, consider subscribing, like this video. Consider becoming a member. You know, I really appreciate Luke, who's my only member right now, so shout out to him. But that's really going to be it, guys. I'll have links down below for stuff, but I don't know what else to say other than hopefully I figure something out. Like I said, I'm not super happy with how this turned out. It's just not what I wanted. So thank you guys for watching. That's going to be it. Bye.